watch me while I sleep. Don't require your belief. Offering silence but no relief. Can you scream without a sound? Like the freeze that's coming down. Barren space where nothing grows. A secret place where no one goes. Don't let me drown.
All right. Welcome, family. As we are ready to embark upon another night into Appalachia and very specifically Avery County, North Carolina, 1920. Remember, you can help out with channel points if the horror gets too much for you, to bring what little hope there can be when you are in the ever swirling bowels of the dark of the mountains. Now, it's time to begin. Two steps forward. Two steps forward. One back. A little bit optimistic for these places. For a land and a people destined and committed to digging and bleeding and churning up the dark secrets, the blood and bone, and heart and blood and veins of this mountains. To take what riches she has and burn and forge them into toys for ours and mostly others' entertainment. Do we really think that nothing will come from that? Is it even possible that things will look the other way? Deeds and our labor sometimes make us think that we own this place, this land, these animals. But what happens when these things really own us? A very bloody war was fought over ownership. And there are those who not quite so easily want to give that up. Which is why, trudging through the woods, is the mighty warden of Kennett Penitentiary. He hears the stream. He had the embarrassment. He had the embarrassment of several of his prisoners escaping. Explosions And that type of bad press, well, that had already caused all the damage it was going to. Funny thing, though, all of them were marked at large, which means you had a few more folk no one cared about in the first place that aren't supposed to be gone, so aren't supposed to be here anyway. Well, ain't no one gonna really notice. See, he knew this place. He knew it just like he knew the well he had dug. Why he dug it. And why only he and a few others that he trusted even let drink from it. Why he was more than happy to make sure that prisoners got the best water. For it is to the source of this water he now runs and walks. It's to the source of this water that he's ready to find what had tried to run away. What had tried to get free. And he smiled, knowing that by that very act, he owns them. And they ain't no hope for him anymore. Now, back in Newland town, that was a whole different type of story. For people were happy, people coming back to work, and things had been looking quite up in the last few months. One way or the other. After all, Ivy had gotten her teaching position and was doing quite well. Maybe even head teacher at some point, that said. And they said, good. She's been raising that brother of hers like a son anyway. And good for her that she gets such a thing. Even though some of the church ladies like to wonder if that like a son was doing more work than it really should. They were distracted by the fact that so many adults lived in that big old house, and they seemed to get along in ways and support each other that really rivaled some of the marriages around, which made you wonder how deep and intimate those relationships went. But given that they seem to be the ones by which the opening of the jobs of B&O number 14 came back to the citizenry of Newland. Well, you can tolerate a little bit of stuff in your presence, can't you? No good in throwing away those that did you something good, even if they're damned to hell. Don't really matter at that point. The selfishness of the righteous and their self-interest can know no bounds sometimes. And that's all well and good for these four. It afforded them a title, an ownership of land, if not a few mysteries. Most curious that while people were coming to Avery County now, to work, no one had come back. Now again, after a week or two, still think, well, maybe they hadn't heard, but I mean, they had children, and after months, there not being a soul, and no one seems to have seen them after they got on the train or started walking north. A question and fear began hanging around Newland. No one talked about it. Heck, you don't really see it unless you're in the Banana Split, the not so secret and underground uh, parlor of whiskey and moonshine and what all. Never mind that all the law enforcement in the area came to it, as long as them government folks didn't know. And kept it away from certain people. I might use it against Newland. Besides, someone's gonna look into it, right? Someone's doing something. And unfortunately, our four who have their own land now have developed some type of sense of responsibility. This new mystery bugs them. And now we'll see what it is they might do. So on this glorious day, where might we find y'all? Or actually, we'll say some more like this. Just in these months, just what has been keeping y'all busy? What has life been like? What been minding the farm, or property, or homestead, or just give us a slice of all of yours in these last few months.
Well, I've been collecting new books because apparently we lost a whole bunch with the prisoner escape. Oops.
I think Ruby's been busy trying not to kill all the flowers that she has planted in the flower bed.
Ivy just got this new book that Basil purchased her for her to teach a class on. It's called The Call of the Wild. And I've been teaching Toby to read it with me, and I'm giving him a little heads up in advances, but...
Why do you let Basil find the books?
Why do you think?
Charlie, I think, is actually probably been a little more pensive than most of the others. They got the deed and everything, but he's definitely had something on his mind from the incident the night when we actually set off the explosion, and he's been sitting and watching the mountain with his guitar, as he often does, and has been probably not wanting to bother Ivy, because Ivy's trying to start this new position and has a lot of new things she has to do, but has been trying to find an opportunity to talk to Ivy. And then other than that, trying to do odds and ends, trying to keep any kind of small jobs that need to be done around the house and the property. He'll always help.
I think it had been quite a few busy days, and in these months, why don't y'all start to describe maybe a dinner or late night get together, drinking or playing cards or whatnot, where gather around a nice fire where you're able to talk and decompress some of the either your past or some of what you've seen. And go from what would be served, what would be played, what would be being enjoyed.
This particular batch of dumplings, they look a little less ugly than the past ones I've made. I might be starting to get a hang of this.
You're getting better every single time, Charlie.
Well, it's only because I have the tutelage of a very good teacher.
Oh, did you hear that, Ivy?
I did. I'm glad you're able to teach Charlie how to make some dumplings.
Oh, you're talking about me. Oh,
You are the one who makes sure that I don't burn myself.
oh, well, it's no big deal. Yeah, the tomatoes didn't come out as big as I wanted them to. As she holds out like 3 tomatoes, and they're probably about 2 inches.
Now there is nothing wrong with those tomatoes, Ruby.
I think they got eaten by bugs too. As she turns one around, and there's a big old hole in it. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
What type of thing did Basil bring?
Basil, if no one has stopped her, has just been reading those letters from the bag. She's just like, oh, and this person said, so she's just bringing all the gossip.
Basil?
Hmm?
Oh, you need to eat, sweetie.
Uh-huh.
Put down the letter.
What?
Put down the letter, you need to eat.
But it's getting good.
I get that, but you can pick it up after we're done with our meal. This is family time, remember?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What is happening? How was school today, Miss Ivy?
It was actually pretty good. We've gotten through most of Call of the Wild. Toby's taken a real interest to it, and a couple of the other boys, but the girls not so much. And I'm trying to think of a good book that I could draw their attention to next time.
Now, what's this Call of the Wild about?
Well, you see here, and she's going to just explain the Call of the Wild. Basil told me it was a really good book, and she found it for me.
Oh. Okay.
What do you think?
Sounds interesting.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, we got any plans for this week?
Well,
Go on, Miss Ivy.
I was gonna say, I know you're all thinking, did you still want to go check out on those trains? I mean, I think Basil really wants to. They haven't put down the letters.
I don't know if
I
Basil's.
put him down to eat.
I don't know if Basil's worried about the people missing on the train as much as she's interested in the ongoing novel that is this town.
Let me tell you, some of those church ladies should be more concerned about their grandsons.
That I have no doubt.
I'm gonna slide Ruby a letter and I'm gonna be like, "This one's better than some of your books."
Which grandsons are those?
Maybe I could go suitor shopping with these letters.
Charlie just keeps his mouth shut. Eating his deformed dumplings.
I'm not sure you want to go suitor shopping with the ones that are naughty unless you really want someone who's experienced.
Well, why would I want somebody who can't do the stuff whenever I could get somebody who can?
So, Avi, other than the reading, what else what are the sort of things are you teaching over at the school?
Well, I haven't been teaching this so much, but the teacher there has been doing a music class, and I think Toby's learned pretty good on, one of those things you play over there, Charlie.
The guitar or the mouth harp?
Guitar.
Oh,
Maybe he could play for us a song tonight or something.
well, you know that this here guitar is very important to me. But if anyone else would be allowed to play it, it would certainly be Toby.
Ooh, Ruby, maybe you could do one of your shows. We haven't been entertained in quite some time.
Oh, yeah, I could do a show for you.
Yeah, and Toby could help be your backup music.
Oh, that sounds lovely. Yeah, I'll have to think about it. It's been a while since I did anything.
Yeah, we've just all been so busy lately with life and everything. I feel like a good night to Joy would just be really cool.
Mm-hmm. That it would.
It certainly would.
So, other than the juicy gossip, what have you learned, Basil, by reading those letters?
What have I learned? Also, by the way, Tarzan was written in 1912, and I'm totally saying that's the next book.
Perfect.
Works. Go ahead and give me a intellect challenge, please.
Okay, let me get my sheet up first. 'Cause that would be helpful to have out, guys.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can ease this or anything, because I'm sure I can. For the record, it doesn't matter what language they're in. I can learn that. And codes. But for learning something new, I'm trained. Does that help?
It does.
Oh, have we earned any of our stuff back? Our recovery rolls?
Yeah, you can get all your cover rolls back, and you can come back up to full with everything.
Woo!
Remember, I think we were thinking about that, and I decided, yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Then I'm going to use, what is it, edge or effort? I always forget.
Effort?
Yeah.
Edge.
Right, you apply effort by spending points discounted by your edge.
Oh.
Okay, I have 2 edge.
So it'd be 1 intellect point to get a level of effort in.
Okay. So what does that lower it to?
Totally here, you are at a 6 or higher.
No, good, because I rolled a 6. Bad dice. Go in your home.
Okay. So, what are some things you think Basil is trying to figure out that be helpful to her?
I think I'm trying to figure out, one, where did they disappear at? Did they get to a certain destination? Did the trains get to a certain destination and then people start disappearing? Or is it the minute you get on the train, you disappear?
All right.
Trying to narrow it down as to, is there a stop?
100%. Reading through the letters, you find some written by a mixture of very upset mothers, some who become grandmothers and now are mad because they're sort of like, you left and you didn't tell me she was knocked up, and now I got to try and we're trying to raise. Why don't you get your butt back here right now?
Those are the saucy ones.
Yeah. Scorned lovers, some Anin, and there's a few who've been doing their own investigating, and so some know that they got on the train or were walking off, but if you're focusing on the train specifically, they talked to somebody who said, I know they saw you past here or past there. And they seem to never have made it to the first stop.
Okay.
And there's generally, at some point, they might say, yeah, they said you had to go to the bathroom, or they saw you walk off or walk back to your seat, or then they didn't see you. The idea that they got out of sight and then were not seen
We're
again.
gone.
Right.
Okay. Is it?
And the other thing you pick up on
Okay.
is the people who they talk to. None of them are people who are from Newland
Okay.
or from Avery. They all, like, whether it be the conductors or people who are traveling back and forth, maybe your family.
Do I figure out whether or not it's when they're all alone they disappear, or are they disappearing in like groups? Like, would there be safety in numbers, basically?
I don't, because you're trying to get this from what like the letters people are writing to the disappeared from talking to people. I think that's an odd.
Okay. But okay, so is it all on the same train line? Like, is it all like the 8:15 to whatever town?
No.
Okay, so it's all different.
Some people have left town walking and not come back. Others train, others hitched a ride. It is the train that has been the easiest to follow up on, which is why you can get the most information.
Okay.
But you do get, it seems to be more that people who just try to leave or who leave are not coming back.
Okay. Well, then I blah that.
So this is not just a train problem.
So it's like people, if you like, we're stuck here. If we try to leave, we'll just disappear off the face of the planet.
Seems like. I mean, I don't think any of us have been particularly interested in leaving, so that's why we wouldn't be aware of this. But yeah, Mr.
Netherland, where they just rise up into the sky by the fairies. Look, it's not the weirdest shit we've seen.
It's not.
That's true. Honestly, that would be, with all the possibilities of what might be happening to them, that's one of the more optimistic ones.
I'm trying. Ivy almost got 8 a month ago. I'm trying to be optimistic.
I know. I'm not sure why we bring that up at every meal.
Ivy, you almost got 8?
Strange man.
Oh, no, that was me.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Ruby almost got you.
I'm just saying.
You know what? I was trying to save all y'all's asses.
You did you were doing that. I'm just saying, when I'm attempting to eat tomatoes and dumplings,
they look nothing like flesh and blood.
Looks down at his plate and not sure he agrees, but he's getting better at the dumplings.
I mean, technically, if you cut up a tomato and you separate out the seeds, it could look like red blood cells. Not helping. Got it. I should have.
No, it's all right. It's all right. I'm not. Mr. Randolph did not say anything about that, though he wouldn't. He's mostly worried about his train. But I do wonder what's the most proper way to try to go about this, since it's not just the train.
Like, do we know where the border, like where the end of, I guess, town or something like that is?
Basil looks all excited and just throws out a map.
Oh,
You've been waiting.
I found her kink. Okay.
Yeah, you did. She still got the mind map, so maybe.
Do we know where the border, the edge of town is, I guess you could say?
Yeah, I mean, I think it wouldn't be too hard to library resources, you can definitely figure that out.
Should we maybe check out different areas on the edge of town, see if we can see anything or feel anything, I guess you could say?
I'd say from your stuff, you kind of figure it'd be more like the county line, but yeah.
The county line.
Yeah.
Should we check out the county line? Maybe see if there's anything there?
Yeah.
First step.
Could do that. I don't know if there's anything we want to do to try to learn more about the situation before we put ourselves directly into the same position the people disappearing are.
Well, I'm not saying this to be mean, but you could work on your reading, Charlie.
Besides, I can read just fine.
Well, I'm just
Hazel.
saying, I'm reading these from my perspective. Maybe we need a male perspective.
It's less a male perspective. I know. I apologize. I'm a little reticent to get that involved with Mr. Randolph again, but we already are. So yes, I should take a look, see if there's anything I could pick up.
Do we know of anybody who may have gone out on a vacation and come back, gone to visit somebody and come back?
Interesting.
Wait, is it? Charlie looks at Basil. Is it all men who've disappeared?
Well, that's a good question, is it?
It does seem to be mostly men. You get an idea, a lot of it seems to be like they would go first to find a job before they would send their families.
Right.
But yeah, do we know if anybody who has gone off to go visit somewhere and come back? Or is it just people who are moving away that are disappearing? Will we get that?
I would say you'd have these months to probably ask some of these questions. So that in particular, I'd say, yeah, there'd be people who went away for a visit and come back.
So it's more, it's just people who are leaving town that don't plan on coming back that disappear.
Right.
Well,
Is there a certain boundary that most of them are disappearing from? Because, like, if you're talking about the county the bounty, then there are multiple ways out of the county. Is it like a certain boundary line that more disappearances are happening at? Or is it all of them?
Again, I like there's not these eyewitness accounts.
yeah.
Right, but like they're saying you got as far as this or you got as far as that.
Right.
Someone saw you.
Yeah.
too.
Sure. You get that all of it. Like when they saw him, all seemed to be you'd think probably before they got out of the county.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just the county itself. And then it's not just north or south or anything like that. It's the whole county line.
Yeah, that's a lot of land.
Oh, yeah. That is.
The weird
What
thing
about-
is, so the drivers of the train are never affected, or really the workers of the train.
No.
Right. It just seems like people from here.
They're riding on the train.
Yeah,
How come
But
the
also people
that
walking.
are working on the train aren't noticing this?
You're talking about people who had a giant, I don't even know what the hell to call it, down in the mine, and they didn't notice that. I'm thinking they ain't that observant.
But I mean, if you're the driver of the train and all of a sudden, like, you think you'd realize your whole passengers are gone.
Miss Ivy, have you ever been on a train?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, the driver doesn't care, and he don't take care of that. You're
No.
thinking about maybe the ticket takers. Are they noticing?
Well, that's who we got
Right.
these letters from.
Well, and he did, and Mr. Randolph did realize what happened. There is another group that we could potentially. I might be able to see if I can talk to them. There are those, of course, who take the train without ever seeing the ticket person.
Yeah.
Those who are riding, let's just say they're taking the discount.
You mean like criminals?
Charlie gets a little quiet because he's done this. He's done this more than once in his life. He's like, that's that you
Why
could
would you
that.
just pay for a ticket?
Yeah, that's like,
There's
Well, sometimes you ain't got money for a ticket, and you really need to get somewhere like now.
that would be the case, or you need to get away from somewhere. But regardless, I
still don't understand.
could potentially, because I'm betting Charlie might know a few people in low places, so to speak, who would be taking the train like that. And so I could maybe see if I can find out if they've noticed anything.
Yeah.
The other thing too about trying to figure out like why people aren't noticing. Most people in Avery like just don't have enough money to get on the train.
Yeah.
It might do mail, it might do some other things to bring stuff. But like even if you go visit family, you're likely not to do it by train. It's very expensive. So the way people were doing that had more to do with trying to find work and trying to find it quickly, taking their last dimes to go, set up somewhere else.
Yeah.
Which is why there were so many using the train that never had been.
but these are like coal mine train, right? Or are these
This is a
electric trains?
passenger
It's a
train.
passenger train.
Okay,
Yeah. this
but
is
like, how's it
passenger.
ran though?
It'd be a steam engine, most likely.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So there's
Right, it's run by coal, yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
have
there's still
fallen
be
down
people
so many
on there.
rabbit holes. I am not going to look up trains of the 1910s.
No, I'm just saying. So there'd be still like a crew on the other car.
Mhm.
So
Right. What I'm trying to say is that it's not there wouldn't be a vast amount of people each time.
right.
Right. So it would be people going back and forth mostly, and you get the idea it's like one or two would van, like these three would go,
Yeah.
and you know.
That makes sense now. Yeah, you get like a 4-person train car, and all of a sudden, yeah.
And what the one the conductor was trying to say was like, you just started noticing like, wait a minute, we keep getting like lost and found, and soon it was like a whole cart.
Mhm.
So it's like after so much, you're like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And I'm just I think Charlie's wondering, anyone who's working the train or doing anything like that has got their mind on their work. Somebody who's riding the train without trying to be seen might be more observant, actually, about what's going on.
Well, where would we find these kind of people to talk to?
I know a few places where they might be getting on and getting off the train that I could potentially go and talk to somebody. Though the letters are probably our best lead for the moment.
Yeah.
Something to keep in mind if we start running into dead ends. But yeah, I can give the letters a look as well, Basil. You are right. I should sort of avoiding it, but I can do that too. If you think it would help.
You do have a connection with the postmaster as well.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, maybe I should go talk to the postmaster.
That's not a bad idea. He already helped us. He helped us a little bit already with,
Yeah.
with the mine, so he might be well informed about what's going on.
Yeah. He's been out of it lately, and it's kind of concerning.
He's been, because I'm assuming that Charlie's been to the banana split and noticed him in there. So like, yeah, he's been very preoccupied. He was never one to get up and dance or do anything quite enjoy the entertainment quite like that, but he usually would at least listen. I don't think he's been listening to much of anything lately.
Well, yeah, I think I should go talk to the postmaster.
Push it
What
out.
time does he get to the midnight split usually?
This is probably late afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, late afternoon after after he's made his rounds and for the day usually.
Does he go every day?
Most days.
All right. Maybe I'll go talk to him tomorrow.
What would you like to do from here?
That's a good question.
You can fast forward, or is there anything you want to?
I think before people turn in, Charlie will actually try to have a chat with Ivy. Other than that, I think probably see like I can start looking at some letters tomorrow morning, and if that's not producing much, I can maybe go see if I can find some of the other train passengers.
Oh, Basil, could you like write a list of all the names that you can of missing people?
Basil's taking care of something, but she can.
Oh,
I'm sure she can.
okay. Oh, okay.
I'm hearing her talking to the daughter. All right, but you wanted to talk to Ivy there, Charlie?
Yeah, it won't. This can be short, but yeah, if there's a moment, Charlie would try to have a quick chat with Ivy, if she's willing.
Yeah, just probably find her outside looking at the stars.
Ivy, do you have a minute or two?
Oh, of course.
He's sort of scratching his head.
Should we go for a walk?
Sure. Some fresh air would probably do me good. I had a question and a request, actually. I've been thinking a lot about the evening when we took care of things. The second night we took care of things at the mine, I guess you could say. And then that following day, when all the chaos broke loose, and we wound up taking that bath in the stream, and something spoke to us, right? We all heard that voice.
Pretty sure.
Okay. Is that I know you've talked about this before. Was that the green that you talk about sometimes?
I mean, I wouldn't especially call it the green. It's something that walks in the green and uses the magic of the green. The green is more what makes the world and makes everything grow, and where everything comes with from life and death. The green is what provides us with the gifts. But there's some spirits that are more in connection with the green. They have their own will, though. Why?
So these I guess that's a question. These the green is this force of power. These spirits. He looks at Ivy. Do you trust them?
That's tough. Mama and Granny always told me not to really trust them, because entities aren't really out there to help you. They're out there to help themselves. And they might be gifting you the power that you need when you need it, but there's always a cost. And even if that cost don't come that day, it will eventually come. I mean, that's why I'm scared that cost came from my daddy and my mom. That's why they've been gone for so long. Nobody's heard from them.
Do you trust the green?
And like what way?
Sorry, I'm not being very clear. I know that you've noticed, Avi. You've seen it more than anyone else has. That there is some. It's not green, whatever it is that's in me.
No,
And
I've never really wanted to bring it up, but Marley, when you're in that mine, and that beast came from the mine, you kind of, it was drawn to you, and you were drawn to it in a way that I've never seen, and it scared me.
look, Avi, I've been asking you this because if I'm going to be completely frank with you, Avi, whatever this is that is in me, I don't trust it. And there are times that I don't trust myself. So,
Are you hoping that the things that I've seen could help you get rid of the things that are inside of you?
I don't
Making another deal for a deal, in a way?
I don't think that I can get rid of this. This is something that I did this to myself, Ivy. And there is, as you've already said, there's a cost to things, and that's my cost to bear. It's more that I do not want this to endanger any of you. And that not before we set off took care of things at the mine, there was Ruby and I met another individual, and I don't. Well, it is up to the rest of you to decide at what point I potentially become more of a liability to you than anything else. But that was not. I mostly wanted to get a sense of whether you.
Charlie, I've seen you talk somebody off the ledge. Literally. I don't think you're a danger to any of us. Maybe a danger to yourself more than anything. Because you've already allowed that darkness in once. It's easier to allow access to. But I'll keep this secret between you and me for now, too. And if you ever need to talk, I'm here. And I'll watch out for you. I know that you probably haven't had somebody do that much for you.
Not for a while. And that means a great deal, Ivy. Did have one request. I think, regardless, especially if I'm going to stay here, I need to understand this more. I need to understand not necessarily what's in me, but just, for lack of a better term, the supernatural magic
You know, my granny used to speak of an old witch that used to live around these parts. I don't know if she still does, but she'd be deep in the woods somewhere. If you ever want to go looking, I'd be willing to try to guide you.
Well, that might be a little deep, but I was sort of hoping you might, since you are now a teacher yourself.
Well, I mean,
Just
I still need a lot of things to learn. Even my granny doesn't know that much about that type of stuff. Only, only few people have ever been passed around with that knowledge, and those ones, they don't come around much. They're only there if in the rare moments that they're needed, or you go looking for them.
yeah, it makes sense. Well, this I'm gonna. I guess just any, if you don't mind me every now and again asking you questions about some of your understanding.
Maybe we should go see Granny Tess sometime. I mean, it's been a minute.
That it has.
She'd probably love to meet Ruby and Basil. I probably should let her know that they're living together in the house and that you're living here now. You think I should write a letter?
Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea, and I was about to say that you should make sure that you have Basil or Ruby help you word it, but now that I'm thinking about that, you probably should not have them help you word it. But
Maybe it's best we just all go down there one day as a family. We can bring Toby. We
that,
can go have a little picnic.
that would be lovely. That would be lovely. Thank you, Ivy,
Of course,
for
Charlie.
for everything.
Like I said the first day I met you, we'd always be friends.
Suppose so. It's getting a little late in Chile. We should probably turn in for the night.
Yeah, I have a big day ahead of me tomorrow.
And I think they'll probably wander back to the house, I assume. Matt, you're muted.
Anything else for this night for anybody?
We're starting a conspiracy board and putting all the lighters and pinning them to see how they're related.
Nice. Do Ruby want something specific from Basil there?
Yeah, Basil.
Yep.
Do you think you can write a list of all the people who have gone missing?
Sure.
That would be lovely.
I'll start right now
Thank you.
as I make my conspiracy
Just
board.
get some sleep too, please.
Huh?
Like
That's
and more than 20
I
minutes.
don't need it.
More than 20 minutes, get some sleep, please.
Sure.
I need to like drag you to bed?
I'm not Charlie. You can't.
What?
Charlie and Ivy walk in precisely at that moment. Precisely on that moment. And Charlie just shoots the two of them a look. And then sees the conspiracy board and is... I guess that's what I'm dealing with tomorrow morning.
You started it.
I will deal with you later, Basil. I'm going to bed. I need my beauty sleep.
All right.
All right. So, what avenues you want to pursue here? Charlie was sort of interested trying to follow up on, I guess, some railroading people.
Yeah, just I figured he'd know at very least where the free riders jump on and off, which would not be at the station, but would be at
Right.
a different place.
Okay. And then it sounded like Ruby at least wanted to reach out to or try to find the Postmaster.
Yeah,
Uh,
that would be later on in the day.
right.
Yeah.
Anything else anyone was interested in?
I think after a conspiracy board, I'm gonna go to the library and see if there's any old records of people disappearing in mass.
All right. Sounds good. We'll get to that then. Anything for Ivy? Or are you joining any of these? Josh, anything Ivy's interested in?
Oh, yeah. Ivy's going to go to do her normal thing of going to school. After school, she'll drop Toby off at a little hangout spot with her other friends. And then she wants to go maybe spend a day in the woods trying to connect with the green after having a conversation with Charlie.
All right. I think for the most part, yeah. So I think Ruby and Charlie, you could probably be doing, since your things are kind of not going to help the rumors, but you could definitely be doing these things together.
Okay.
If you so desire.
That's fine.
Um,
Oh man.
Charlie's maybe a little nervous about bringing Ruby along to meet the we'll call them freeloaders, but if she wants to come, she can.
Yeah, she'll come. She can persuade them to talk. Wink, wink. No, I'm playing.
Yeah, so if you go by the morning, you can see by the dew and know that the train, especially the cargo, won't leave until more 9 a.m. So as you get up 7 and 8, up in the mountains, without too much trouble, you find makeshift cloth tents and 3 or 4 folk who like to live from place to place. And they are up and boiling water. Some even seem like they have had coffee here or there. They look at you, and by the way you know how to walk up to these places, they recognize you. Though you can see there's a suspicion from your cleanliness. These people been victims of abuse, and their betrayer and being caught mostly comes from somebody who, while claiming to want the right thing for him, typically thinks that their new life of legitimacy should be forced upon all others. So they're a little standoffish as they go about breaking their camp and get ready for the next leap.
And I don't know, this has probably been too long since Charlie did this. He doesn't recognize any of them, does he? These aren't people he's necessarily met before.
I'd say probably, I mean, not likely.
Okay.
I think that's right into like what a player intrusion would get you.
Right, okay.
Right.
Sure.
So
No, that's
I
fine.
think it's just.
Yeah.
I know. Sup, friend?
Pardon me, sir. Do you know when the train is due to come by?
Yeah, usually it comes down this way in an hour or so.
Have you been riding it much in the last
Give me
month
a
or so?
month. So give me a intellect challenge there.
Sure.
Persuasion here.
Persuasion. I will help with that.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
You can use that.
I'm trained in persuasion.
Excellent.
No, I'm specialized in persuasion now.
Ooh, that's 2 steps.
Nice. Okay. I will go ahead and use. I'll go ahead and use some edge. Not sorry. I'm getting using effort. I have edge. Use some effort to bring it down another level. That's an 8. I don't know what I needed.
Yeah. Looks up at you. Alright. Seem nice enough folk. Can tell that you were used to riding. Yeah, all of us have rode sometime. I myself been up and down. Like to keep moving and just trying to get by selling a few things here and there.
I certainly do. I certainly have spent some time riding myself, mostly trying to play tunes for folks.
Why? What do you need to know about us going anywhere?
Well, we're more hoping to see if you've noticed anything, because there's been some folks that have been getting on the trains and not getting off again. And we've heard about some of them, but we're just because I do know a lot of folks who ride the trains, I guess I'm just a little nervous about what might be occurring. I wanted to know if you've all been all right, and if there's just if you've seen anything unusual.
Kind of all look at each other and spits for a second. This was about a year ago. Me and others, people I met down here, we had come and, well, I got along quite well with them. We kind of came up with this harebrained idea that we would go up and down the line, and the carts we found ourselves in, we'd grab and maybe sell for the product that we could fit in our pockets for a little cheaper. Get some money and do something legit, or, well, close to legit. One of them was quite the shiner, you see, and, well, then we even thought of what if we made the hobo Moonshine Alliance, and, well, mostly it was some talk, but anyway, we all got to drinking and realized that all our water was gone. At least most everybody's. There's a little left, and I had stayed to the camp, but well, just kind of paused. Anyway, next day, we all hopped aboard, and we were there talking and about everything that we could think of. It was like the ideas sang to us. Everything was possible, and they just started aching, saying something like how they had to go back. I mean, it was crazy. They were about to go up at that speed that you shouldn't be jumping off at, not the right place. It was almost right to going down the mountain, and so I shut the car doors. Well, When I looked back, I was all by myself.
So this guy that you rode with practically disappeared.
4 of them.
4 of them.
5 of us went in that car.
And were all 5 of these people from here?
No. Also just passing through it. Listen, I go back in this. Only thing I know is those 4 went out into those woods to find the spring. They came back and had water and it was all good and they were gone.
Ruby shoots Charlie a look.
Yeah.
Do you know what spring?
We just had heard rumor that there was a freshwater spring up here that gives all y'all your water. And if you can find it, you can take what you need.
Do we know what spring he's talking about?
Yeah, you've been to it.
Oh.
Hmm. Okay. Well. And I don't know if it said, they brought the water back. Did you drink the water as well? Yeah, you said.
They didn't have any. I discovered myself and woke up so late the next morning to get on. Just didn't really think about it, but
Have you had any of that water since you've been here now, this time?
no. And then he takes out what looks like almost corroded at the top flask. He goes, I ain't never opened this. This was what they had given me, and I just remember staring at it for the longest time. But
Yeah, I wouldn't drink that.
we tell people who come over here, we say, don't ride with anyone from over here. Something ain't right.
Yeah.
Not. Unfortunately, I don't think you. I think that's probably smart. Well, thank you very much, sir. And I don't know if this will. You've given us some information, so Charlie wants to sort of give them, just from his time in knowing Randolph, give them some little bit of advice about that he knows from knowing this guy, how to stay unseen. Something they probably know most of the tricks, but he sort of wants to
Yeah, you pass some of that on. I think that's
pass a little information on to them as a thanks for talking to us. So, all right, well, safe travels to you, sir.
Yeah, to all of you too. And they begin packing up, and the kind of whistle blows, and they start making their way out in the tree line.
So once they're sort of a little bit away, he'll turn to Ruby. Was that the spring that we all took a bath in that night?
We get water from it.
Okay. Is that the water I make the dumplings in?
I believe so. Okay, so it really is in the water. Okay.
So it.
There is something in the water.
Okay. Because I don't suppose. Because I assume none of us have attempted to leave the county since we've been here. We've had no reason to.
I haven't.
Yeah.
How far is the county line from where we're at?
I think relative. I mean, you could probably do it an hour walk.
Should we go test it out, see if we feel the same way that those people felt?
The problem is, it wasn't just something that made them like want to stay. After they started feeling it, they disappeared.
It's probably because they couldn't get off the train.
That's a good point. I don't know if we want to do this without telling Basil and Ivy what we're doing. Because if we just up and disappeared.
Yeah. Shit. We have so much time right now, and they're busy. You know what? I say we do it. I say we go. Live and let live. You know.
I don't think that expression applies here.
I think it does. I think it 100% does.
I don't know why I let you talk me into these things, Ruby.
Because I'm cute. Let's go.
The moment you or I feel anything, we are stopping and walking back.
Yes, of course.
And that's how the elopement rumor started.
Yes. Charlie didn't say anything, but it absolutely went through the back of his mind of, I'm not sure why Ruby is surprised that there are rumors.
All right, with this then, let's go over to Ivy.
I don't like the way you're doing that.
Deep in the woods. Still daylight. Trying to breathe in the green. Walking barefoot. With the earth stirring up and that smell of dug ground filling her nostrils. What'd you like to do?
So Ivy's getting deeper and deeper, and then finally she just kind of comes to a spot in front of a big old tree, moss covered all down the front of it, and she starts feeling around for some wet, soft dirt, where she finally just sits down and then just digs her hands into, and she just starts talking, trying to reach out to. She's hoping somebody else might be out there listening, but she's hoping it's not the entity she doesn't want to be listening also. Because she knows there's many entities when she does this, trying to reach out through the green. But she's hoping, after talking to Charlie and seeing him just deal with this darkness and kind of ponder on it and walk the line, that she might need to try to find somebody to come help them.
Me an intellect challenge.
That's a 19.
You reach out, seeking pathways of the green. You let her guide your steps. You find yourself in a grove of trees. Here, there is no green. The trees are blackened. Not living, not dead. Ozone fills your nostrils. And the unmistakable continuous smell of petrichor. Energy here. Something in your mind says enter. An urge equally as powerful says run.
Who's here?
There's a bit of a electric arc that runs between the trees.
You're the one that took my parents, aren't you?
Hear a voice. Enter.
For you, Dad. And she'll enter.
All around, arcs of lightning and electricity move about the trees, leaving dark and deep gouges. Before a sphere of burning light, surrounded by electric bolts of power, manifests. Her tendrils of light caress and pry at the earth, and these strange, not dead trees of her sacred grove, like silent chords of power that ripple through the area like music. And she speaks. It is mind to mind, her blinding head rising to reveal an eye that appears dark only because the light of her is too bright. Dazzled, your mind says, Mother. Your mind says, Beloved. Your mind says, Run and retreat and know. Her eye is deep as a coal mine. She gazes upon you. And she says, Ask.
Where are they?
I know where they toil and bleed and grieve.
How do I get there?
You wish to find them.
I wish to find all of them.
All of whom?
The ones that ride your train.
The bargain is struck. You will find them, you will. In that blinding light, she is gone.
If that happens, Ivy goes, "No, wait!" And then back in the darkness or the forest, kind of coming back, your eyes flickering for a second. I have, I, I, I have to find everyone. And that's when she takes off running.
All right. So, what particular thing were you seeking?
I was looking to see if there was any other stories of mass disappearances in the town.
Looking back, the last one you were able to find has to do with the records of the Civil War.
That's
Where,
not helpful. They could have disappeared for other reasons.
well, there are letters of failure to show or participate
Uh,
that you're able to find on the records. Generally, those who here in North Carolina, or many, there's some who, both for the North and the South, people seem to like want to forget these folks, but there's a lot of them.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's no good.
And then you find a celebration, one in which it's an interesting old flyer that has been made here that talks about Granny D hosting a send-off to all those who would go to war and all those who need to. And she would take them out. They would gather in the woods near her home. And simply says, "Come to my home," or "Come to Granny's home," or she would provide us all types, all liquid libation and food before we're off to fight our destinies.
Is this the same Granny of Ivy's?
You don't know.
Does it say a location of Granny D's, or could I find like a house in the records?
The way it talks about it, just that she's somewhere out in the woods.
All right.
Like it seems to be a thing of where like everyone knows where Granny D's is, as opposed to there being a true record of where she lived.
Okay. I'm 100% gonna think it's Ivy's then. Okay.
All right. In that case, then I think we will go to the banana splits where y'all wanted to head, right?
No, their dumbasses are heading to the.
That's right. They're going to the. So here we go. That's this. Walking through the woods, you approach. But you know to be the Avery County line. It's not too hard to find. They are trails that have been emblazoned by lovers for decades. What you would be able to pick up was kind of a fun custom where young folk would swear to forever be beholden to the county for the purity of their body and soul. And so when Lover's Call came to them, well, they found it best to find ways out of that particular agreement over the counter line. So decades of eager young folk have paved ways that seem to stick. As you get here, you do find that there are stones and hanging wood chimes, markers from, I guess maybe even 200 years back, marking the line here. And the trees hanging, some higher than you would think, as if they were put on and just rose up as the tree grew. Others, the rope or twine in which they were hung has been devoured by the tree itself. There's just the charm sticking out. It's an odd marker, but beautiful. Reminds you that the trees will always grow. What would you like to do?
We've gotten to this point. I assume we're not feeling anything yet.
Well,
I mean, I don't have a particular desire to leave, obviously, for obvious reasons, but I'm not feeling any kind of unnatural pull.
yeah, neither am I.
Maybe there's something piece we still don't know.
Well, there's a lot of charms here.
These look like, I don't know, promises between young fools, or I think something else going on. This is when we need Avi or Basil to know more about this stuff than I do. That's for sure.
Well, let me take a closer look at one of these.
All right. Now you haven't crossed yet. You trying to go further, or?
Well,
We've-
can I
Yes,
stick? Can I stick a toe on the other side?
Was that like a chocolate?
Like, how far deep do these charms and stuff go?
I'd say it's probably a good like 6 foot width here. Step into it. As you do, there is almost like a buzz that the hairs on your arms stand up straight. Look at these charms. Many of them, well, might turn someone's face quite red. There is initials or names or cutesy little nicknames of what presumably are 2, though that number is bigger at times than one in propriety might think it should be. Lovers who seem to make a promise and detailing what it is they might want to do. Some more tasteful than others. And upon each one are dabs of blood. Very small, dried from years. But a sense of what they're going to do. And each one ends the same, though. Once our deed is done, we'll return and live. And underneath is the marks of blood.
A blood oath.
This is their blood oaths. Charlie, by the way, this entire time is prepped, ready to grab Ruby if he sees anything start to happen. He's just kind of just a little on edge. But that seems a little. At least I'm going to admit to you, Ruby, that I have had a share of dalliances. Blood oaths were never part of them.
Well, whenever you make a promise to the county, I guess you could say, and you don't want to break that promise once you leave the county, do your thing, and then come back, you technically haven't broken your promise in the county.
I guess, but the free riding friend earlier said that it was 4 of his compatriots whom I would not have assumed would have made a promise like this, who also disappeared. So I don't.
Maybe all of these promises, because they've grown into the woods here. They've grown. Like this is a like all the sacrifice, the blood sacrifice, I guess you could say. It's done something, and like something Ivy would say, or not Ivy, Basil would say something about the trees being like tied to the waters and the wells and all this sort of stuff, and that could just be part of the land, and part of the land is now the spring.
So it might be that this is not the people who have been lost, but this is what caused it. Oh, yeah. I do not claim to understand this stuff at all, but there's certainly a lot of logic in that.
Yeah.
Sentiment.
Ooh.
I do. Are you okay?
Yeah, she like kind of rubs her arms a bit, and she just walks back the same way she came. She's like, "Oh, it's creepy in there."
All right. I think maybe we should go find the others. We're gonna need to let Ivy and Basil know about this and see if they have any insights, because story's getting more complicated, but we're definitely made progress. So, you sure you're all right?
Yeah, there's just I got the willies.
All right.
I wouldn't have dared to walk any further.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good idea. Charlie will lightly take her arm in case she needs.
I wonder if we made a blood oath, if we did the same thing, we could cross and be able to come back no problem.
Charlie just sort of gives her a look.
I'm not going to try it. I was just thinking out loud, okay?
I was just wondering if you were making a proposal, Ruby.
Oh, I mean, no.
Charlie just giggles to himself. All right.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good. And so, you headed to meet, or were you headed to meet everybody?
Yeah.
Well, do we still want to talk to Ephraim?
Well, we've been gone for how long? What time is it now?
Yeah, I was about to say you can probably get back noon, but I mean, Abby's kind of has her thing, so you guys would probably still be able to.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay,
that's fine.
Go there, and so yeah, I think as you head to Ephraim, we'll have that conversation next week.
Sounds good.
Watching. Thanks so much as we explore this new piece here, new mysteries, and new horrors eventually. As we move on. Not family. See you soon.
Not family.
Night.
Not family.
Good night, family.